this is the introduction part. This tells us about where the sutta was given, to whom, and then in the introduction section it is talking about the path, that this is the path for what? It's giving the purpose of the practice and the purification of our beings. And then what is the way? And that is the 4 parts, the 4 Satipatthanas. The Katame Chattaro, what are 4? Chattaro means 4. And then that comes Kaye Kayanupasi Viharati Atapi Sampajano Satima Vinaya Loke Abhijjado Manasam. And similarly, Vedanasu Vedananupasti, and Chittesu Chittanupasti, and Dhammesu Dhammanupasti. So, Kaye Kayanupasti is contemplation in the body, and then Vedananupasana, contemplation in the feeling, and then Chittanupasana, contemplation in the mind, and Dhammanupasana, contemplation on the phenomena, the teachings. So in the Kayanupasana, later on in the sutta, this will describe into different sections. There are 6 parts, 6 ways of contemplating, and then Vedananupasana, there is again basically 3 different feelings, and the Chittanupasana, it's divided into 16 sections, and Dhammanupasana is divided into 5 different categories. And here, last week, we discussed on each words, the Viharati, Atapi, Sampajanu, Satima, Vinaya, Loke, Abhijjado, Manasam. Now tonight I would like to give you a different perspective on those words again, starting from Atapi. Last week I mentioned that Atapi is about torturing your kilesas, torturing your kilesas, or it's like bringing your kilesas out and torturing it. So it's reversing the routine that we are doing. So in worldly affairs, we entertain with our 5 senses, called kama gunas, or essential pleasure. So we're going along with the stream of the world, whereas Atapi is going against it. You're stopping, trying to stop. Right? So that's the Atapi. That's why this Atapi is also known as the Virya, or Sammapadana, means the effort factor. Here, when we talk about the effort factor, and this is called Sammapadana. Right? And this starts from try to think of the Pali, but anyway, okay. So, whatever unwholesome state of mental state, whatever mental unwholesome states are already prevail in us, we try not to, whatever unwholesome mental states hasn't been a reason, stop from arising it. Right? So all the unwholesome states of the mind are called akusala dhammas. So that means we not letting it to arise. Right? So that is the first practice, is to stop letting it to arise. And the second whatever is already in us, all those unwholesome mental states, we are eliminating it. So first is stopping, second is eliminating it. Right? That's and then the third one is whatever kusala dhammas, the wholesome mental factors that hasn't been arisen in us, we work it out to make it happen. Right? So developing the wholesome qualities. So the third one is developing the wholesome qualities. And then the fourth one is whatever wholesome qualities has been established, maintaining it. Right? So maintain. So I normally see it as stop, eliminate, develop, and maintain. Right? And in a practice, maintaining is the hardest one. Right? Maintain the continuity is the hardest one. And also stopping from the first and the last one are the hardest one. Stopping from arising of any unwholesome mental state is a hard one. Because of untamed and untrained our mind, we've been habitually engaged in this worldly affair and worldly stream. Whenever we see and we hear, we smell and we taste, and our body comes to contact, and that moment, if our minds are not fully mindful, then it's very easy to slip and then go on and creating that. And among that, very easy one is the verbal action. And so the ways of doing all these unwholesome actions are three ways: so bodily, verbally, and thinking. Right? And in the verbal action, it is very easy to do. Physical action you can stop easily, and you can change easily. But for speaking, it's very easy to say quickly without thinking, and it's kind of sometimes we say it out of fun. Or we want to say it because we want to play around with the words, and these are so easy to go on to creating another unwholesome mental state. And we may be smiling as we say it, like that. And then another one is the mental thinking of this ill will and aversion, and these mental states are also always coming up and boiling in our minds, and that also we need to be mindful of too. Right? And this, when we are mindful, then this unwholesome state that hasn't been arisen will not arise. And that is how you stop. So here, viharati, you are abiding on the body. So constantly you are abiding on the body, that will prevent from having these unwholesome states to arise. Right? So you have an anchor. So you're always mindful of your body. And then this unwholesome state will not arise. And a second is whatever is already in us, uprooting it. And that takes a lot of effort. So it's basically you're changing your habit patterns. The way you perform your actions, physical action, verbal action, and mental thinking process has changed. So that's why this comes with the small act of generosity. outside you are changing your habit patterns by being kind, sharing and caring, and with that you will be seeing slowly changing takes place. And like someone who never gave dana, it will be very difficult for them to give a dana. But over the period of doing it again and again, it's become a custom and easy to give. And that's how gradually it changes in our habit patterns, in our thought processes. Right? So that's why it takes a long time. Right? And in general term, we like to do good things, but meanwhile we forget not to uproot the bad things that's already there. And when we look at the Buddha's teachings, Buddha instructed us or guided us to uproot the wrong things, and the good things will follow. Whereas we are doing in the opposite way. We are doing good things so that the bad things will go away. So it's a little different here. And then good things will develop. So, and then the last one is maintaining the good things, that whatever we have accumulated or developed, the good things in our habit patterns. So that is the second way of looking at this word atapi, okay? The ardent practice. So paying attention to the body again and again with these thoughts. So whenever things comes to contact at that time, that reflects that we want to create something wholesome or unwholesome. It's our choice. And it won't happen if we are paying attention to it more wisely. So viharati, so abiding on it. And the sampajanya, last week I mentioned that this is a panya, and the wisdom part. And here, the wisdom part in a sense that this is talking about the two realities, conventional reality and ultimate realities. And with the practice, first of all, what we will understand is the conventional reality. So we will be able to name it, we will be able to perceive it, things in a worldly matter. So that's a conventional truth. Like when we are meditating and then we paying attention to the body, and now it's rising and falling, or the breathing in and breathing out. This is a conventional truth that we have given the name, and we are conscious about it. We are paying attention to it, and we are working with the conventional truth. And this is also, it's like a signpost. So we are looking for the signpost, and signpost is the conventional truth, and that is leading us to see the ultimate truth. And so that's why in here sampajanya we start off with the looking at or contemplating at the conventional truth to see beyond it. So kaya kayanupassi, we are abiding in this kaya, in this body, in a conventional level to begin with. This is my body sitting here. So this is a conventional truth. And we are still attached to my body. And then when we again go through, let's say, the body scan, then we are still going through the conventional truth that this is my head, this is my hand, this is my body, this is my legs. And that's how we are going through. This is a conventional truth. But once we have gone through it properly and understood properly, we will be withdrawing ourselves from this body, that this body is not mine. So now we are turning into the ultimate truth. Yeah? So we're seeing in these two ways. And similarly, the Vedana, the feeling also. Feeling, first of all, oh, I have a pain in my leg. So this is my pain. And this is my pain. Like that. So feeling also, initially, we will go with the conventional truth. And then after we have practiced, and then gradually we withdraw ourselves from this conventional truth to see the reality pertaining to itself, the reality of the nature. Same with the mind. The mind also conditioned by so many things, so many factors. And this mind also, initially, we will, and when we go to this mind section, we see that we are knowing each mind with labeling it that this is, this is, this is. And that's again conventional truth. And then we have to withdraw from it to see beyond it. And that is the ultimate truth. Okay? And that ultimate, once we have fully understood the ultimate truth, then that becomes that this body is like just a part of the everything. Yeah? It's just one we are living on. And this does not belongs to us, made of 4 elements. And go on to how this is developed. Well, this developed because of the different types of food. Like that's on, it goes on. It's full of 4 different types of foods there that causes, or that is the cause of having this body, a condition to have it. And that's how we will be able to comprehend that. And again, and the last one would be able to see that this body, feeling, mind, and phenomena are the characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, impermanence, and suffering, and non-self. Right? So we're able to see that in an ultimate sense, the Sampajanya. I haven't read the Sampajanya definition at the back, so maybe we'll read it later. You can read later in the back, page number 83. I'm not sure what is the definition is given here. Right? And as I said, the translation on this book, we have to pay very careful attention. Right? So that is the second word, Sampajanya. Right? And the third, Satima, which is very easy, and I don't need to give more definition of Satima, which is similar as being mindful. A person who is mindful is a person who is a Satima. Okay? Mindful. The Vinaya is another good one that last week I forgot to mention. The Vinaya is basically ability to, it's like when you are paying attention to the body functioning, or body, kaya, and pasi, at the time you are, it's called Tadhanka Pahana, means ability to destroy, or ability to stop this defilements for momentarily. So it's like you are momentarily able to cut it off from coming to be. Okay? And then as you develop your awareness and mindfulness, gradually the second stage is you will be able to suppress it for a longer period of a time. Okay? Suppress it to the longer period of a time. And here separation again, we have to go to understand the Satima here. And in a Satima practice, and the Satima, it has got other factors. For Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya, 4 factors are there. Okay? So when we talk about the Sati, there arises the Samadhi as well. Because continuously paying attention to something, that is the mindfulness, and the longer mindfulness is there, the Samadhi is there too. Okay? And so that's why you have to have a Virya, means the effort, continuously paying attention to that kaya, the body, that brings the sati, the mindfulness. And because of having this mindfulness, you have a samadhi. Right? And because of having the samadhi, at least you have some form of knowledge, the wisdom, to cut off any negativities. So the akusala, unwholesome states, you are able to cut it off. That is called tatthanga pahan. Tatthanga, so temporarily able to cut the defilements away. And now, because of practicing the satima, the paying attention to the body again and again, this qualities develops. Right? The virya, sati, samadhi develops. So this effort, mindfulness, and then concentration and wisdom develops. With that development, what happens is that a faith and a confidence develops too. So faith and confidence comes in. And with that, the factors of bala, so it's the energy develops. With that development, what happens is that the samucheta, you will not samucheta. I forgot now. Samucheta, or I think samucheta. So you will be able to suppress this kilesas for a longer period of a time because of the saddha and because of the samadhi is there. Right? So you're able to suppress it a longer period of a time. So that is the vinaya law. Okay? So vinaya, so the initial eradication of a defilement.
Can I ask about... Sorry, Hashem, can I ask about this word suppression?
Yes.
Because in our practice of mindfulness meditation, the word suppression in English implies a deliberate, forceful act of suppression. Whereas in our mindfulness meditation practice, we learn not to sort of violently push thoughts and feelings and emotions away, but more to acknowledge them, be aware of them, come back to the breath in a more gentle way. So the word suppression can seem a bit harsh.
Yeah, but sometimes in the practice you do suppress. Right? Yes?
I would like to add.
Yeah?
Yes, the meaning in the word is what David had reaction to. But when you observe, with your observing mind, and see something negative is arising, you have to use your willpower to stop it in the bud.
Mm-hmm.
Without violence, but with awareness that if you let this grow, you will be in trouble. So you better stop it at the beginning, and that comes from awareness, not from violence. It comes from wisdom.
Yeah. I wouldn't mean violence in any sort of physical way. It's a sort of go away, you don't want it.
When you are paying attention to kaya, the body, the longer you pay attention to it, the kilesas are suppressed. Right? As long, and as soon as you release it, or as soon as your mindfulness away from it, then it simply goes back to the stream. So that's why that moment is the suppression.
I think David is having reaction to the word, and I understood that English language is very limited to translate all the words in Pali. So I see it like putting a cup on some negative thing that arises, so preventing maybe. Not suppressing, but preventing.
Prevention.
Yeah,
it's like the simile is when you put the stone on a grass, the grass is suppressed not to arouse, not to grow.
So you block it.
You block it, yeah. So that is suppression, yeah. Okay. And the other words, loke, avijja, domanasam. Loke is about the body. Yeah? Avijja, domanasam. We have discussed on that. So, the next one is on the page number 4. Right? That is the beginning of the practice. And in this section, okay, let's read the Pali first. Let's go. Kayanupassana, Anapana Pabbam. Kathancha pana bhikkhave bhikkhu kaye kayanupassi viharati. Idha bhikkhave bhikkhu aranyagato va rukkha mulakato va sunyākārakato va nisidati pallankang abhujita va ujhum kāyang panidhāya parimukhang sating upathapeta va so sato va assasati sato va patsasati dīghang va assasanto dīghang assasamiti pachanati Dīghang va patsasanto dīghang patsasamiti pajanati. Rasang va atsasanto rasang atsasamiti pajanati. Rasang va patsasanto rasang patsasamiti pajanati. Sabba kaya padi samvedi assasisamiti sikkhati. Sappa kaya pati samvedi passasessamiti sikkhati. Passang bhayang kaya sankharang assasessamiti sikkhati. Passang bhayang kaya sankharang passasessamiti sikkhati. Okay. Anyone wants to read the translation? Right, David, go ahead.
Okay. Titled Observation of the Body, and this section is on respiration, observation of respiration, I think. And how monks does a monk dwell observing body in the body? Here a monk, having gone into the forest, or to the foot of a tree, or to an empty room, sits down cross-legged, keeps his body upright, and fixes his awareness in the area around the mouth. With this awareness he breathes in, with this awareness he breathes out. Breathing in a deep breath, he understands properly. I am breathing in a deep breath. Breathing in a shallow breath, he understands properly. I am breathing in a shallow breath. Breathing out a deep breath, he understands properly. I am breathing out a deep breath. Breathing out a shallow breath, he understands properly. I am breathing out a shallow breath. In this way he trains himself, feeling the whole body. I shall breathe in. Feel the whole body, I shall breathe out. Thus he trains himself. With the bodily activities calm, I shall breathe in. Thus he trains himself. And with the bodily activities calm, I shall breathe out. Thus he trains himself.
Okay, so this is the first part. Here you can see we have to...
Mistake. Awareness about the nose.
Yeah, that is another story. But first, let's see in the Pali section here. Here we see here two stories here. One is until the Upathapetava, the third line. Right? Up to third line, that's one section. And then after that, So Satova Atsasati, that's a further line. Okay? The two sections is there. The first section here is talking about the place and how you practice. Now, in the past, the first introduction that we were discussing, it is just the introduction that what it is. Now is the instruction how to practice. And that is just the overview of the whole discourse. It is not the practice yet. Instruction is not there yet, although it's given like a bridge of a whole sutta. But the practice begins now. How one should practice. Right? And here say, Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu aranyagato va. Aranyagato means going into the forest. Rukkha mula gato va, going into under the tree. Rukkha mula. And then sunyagara gato va, going into the empty huts. Sunyagara, empty huts. Yeah. This is one section. Yeah. That is asking us to find the proper place. Yeah. And here, aranyagato va, rukkhamulagato va, sunyakaragato va is instruction to free ourselves from all the duties and going into such a place that nothing is bothering you. Okay, basically nothing is bothering you, and that is a place. Okay? So aranyagatova, when you go to the forest, so you are not taking every work that you are doing, all your responsibilities. And when you're going under the tree to meditate, also you're not taking anything with you. Or even going into the huts, that also means not taking anything. There are 10 different types of obstacles. It's called Palipoda. 10 different types of obstacles that you should not take with you. That starts from business of the house and family, works and so on. Right? And that is. And further on, it is finding a secluded place. Right? Finding a secluded place. And here, seclusion, first, you can start off with called a sutta, means it's hearing the teaching. So you are fully listening to the teaching, and then with that, you are fully disconnected from entire businesses. So you're fully absorbing. Okay? And then the second is the proper seclusion, and this seclusion again, there's 3 seclusions. It's called viveka, or kaya viveka, chitta viveka, and then upati vivekas. So 3 different seclusions. Kaya viveka here means your mind is in a secluded place. So nothing is disturbing you. So that's why in instructions sometimes you may have heard free from all the devices that destroy your calmness, or having nothing that disturb you. That is the kaya viveka. And in the kaya viveka again, in order to have the Kaya Viveka, the second stage is having a Sila properly practiced. So there will be no problem with the Kaya Viveka. And the second is the Chitta Viveka. So Chitta Viveka here, Kaya Viveka, it's easy to gain. Let's say you go to the forest. Let's say you go to the empty hut. Then Kaya Viveka is there, seclusion for the body. Your body is not doing anything. Your body is not disturbed by anybody, anything. And that's why another, you may have heard saying that choosing a secure place. So that's a Kaya Viveka. Right? But in terms of the Chitta Viveka is another difficult one. You may be living in a forest, but your mind may not be. Wildly thinking of all the business and works that you are responsible for or you have to do. And here there is another sutta called Patte Karata Sutta. Atitam nanu makhaya napati kanke anahatam. Like that. So that basically means your mind is free from past things and then free from the future things. Right? So this is the sutta, means do not recollect the past nor desire the future. The past is over, the future has not come. These things of the present, see them with insight as they arise, not faltering and not moved. Think about them. Today itself the dispelling should be done. Tomorrow death might come. We will not have any association with death and his great army. So you should abide dispelling thus, day and night jealously. This is the single auspicious attachment that peace sakes still. Right? So that is, mind is free from these things, worries, and that's another upadi. The Chitta Viveka. And the last one is Upati Viveka, and this is another difficult one, freeing from all the defilements. So that is a long discussion, and that's a long way to go. Well, if we can, it will be good. Okay? That is the second way of thinking, that why we have to go into the woods and under the tree or the empty huts. Okay? And after that is the proper time to coming back. Now we are looking at the place. Looking at the place and then looking at our the physical and mental state. And now this is the way of keeping your body now. And saying, Nisidati pallankang avujitawa. Nisidati pallankang. You are cross-legged. Pallankang, cross-legged. And here, I think you are already familiar with it. There are three ways of sitting. Lotus flower position, half lotus flower, and the one leg up, one leg front and back. Three positions. So you can choose whichever one you would like to have. So, and then ujung kayang panidhaya. So your ujung, straight. Kaya, your kaya, your body. Panidhaya, established. Established like this. Ujung kayang panidhaya. And here, ujung kayang panidhaya, this would be difficult for someone who has a physical problem. So that's why commentary suggests that whichever position is comfortable for you, but your body is straight, upright position. Right? Now, parimukhang sating upattapetava, and this is another debate going on until going on as well. Parimukhang. Pari means around. Mukha means the face. Yeah? Parimukhang. Some says it is around in your face. The translation is in your face. Around in your face. Right? Parimukhang. Some says that in front of you. And in front of you. Parimukhang, sating upattapetava. Upattapetava here established. Sating with your mindfulness. So you are mindful at front. And I like this translation. Mindful at front. Rather than just in this area of the face. When we translate it as just at the front, then immediately we are going into the breath in the nose. Right? And later when we go on, doesn't say in the nose. Right? Doesn't say in the nose, paying attention to the nose. So that's why mindfulness at front in your body. So like you are having a mindfulness in your front page, right? You're looking at it. And this, when we do the body scan practice, we see that this mindfulness is just there, not around our face. It's just there. It's like a torchlight. They're watching our face. It's watching our body sitting here. So that's why the mindfulness at front is, I would say, is the right one. Okay? So you have mindfulness at front established, and then so sato va atsasati. Yeah, sato va patsasati. So sato va atsasati. I think this breathing practice, breathing meditation, so sato va, we will do it this next week. Right? It's time is 9 o'clock now. Okay? So just give you this as a way to practice, just to find the proper place and proper position before we move into the practice of breathing meditation. So I end here for tonight. And if you have any question or anything to share, you can do. And if not, then we will practice loving kindness to finish off. Anyone?
See, I will improve in my position.
Good.
This is a big achievement for me.
Lena's improving hers, mine is deteriorating.
Never mind. Okay. Right, so let's practice loving kindness to finish off then. Right? So spend a few moments with yourself on reflecting tonight's lesson. And spend a few moments observing your body, aware of sensations in your body. And bring your attention to your hands, aware of sensations in your hands. Bring that attention to your heart. And connecting with yourself. If you can't feel your beating heart, physically smiling will connect you. And as you feel the connection with it, generating loving kindness and compassion. And showering it to yourself. May I be well, may I be happy, may I be at peace, may I be free from suffering. Similarly, showering loving kindness and compassion to all of the sentient beings, starting from near dear one, our parents, our husband or wife, children, family, friends, relatives, and all of the sentient beings, far and wide, visible and invisible beings, in this room, in this city, in this country, on earth, in the universe. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be at peace, may they be free from suffering. May they be able to maintain their happiness. And gently bring your attention back to your hands, aware of sensations in your hands. And to your body. And to your eyes. And as you hear the gong, slowly coming out from meditation and reflect for a few moments. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Savakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami